Constitution Day!
On September 17, 1787, the delegates to the Constitutional Convention held their final meeting. After 4 long, hot months of debates and compromises, only one item was left on their agenda that day: to sign the United States Constitution. Every year we celebrate Constitution Day to continue their legacy and develop habits of citizenship within us all.
The Constitution is to me a symbol of the rights and freedoms we as Americans have fought for and earned over the past 2 centuries. When the Founding Fathers drafted the United States Constitution, they sought to establish a country with a government representative of the people. While the freedoms they granted to the American people were quite limited at the time, they did acknowledge that there were some aspects which they could not anticipate, and thus made provisions as to how the document may be amended. Since then, these amendments have served to abolish slavery, grant voting rights to various groups, and provide equal protection under the law to all citizens. Yet none of these liberties were in any way easy to attain. It took nearly 100 years after the Constitution was signed and an entire civil war for slavery to be abolished. The women's suffrage movement was a decades-long fight for the right to vote. Still, the 19th Amendment that granted this was not passed until the 20th century. As a woman in America today, I for one am thankful for the Constitution, not only for establishing our government as one for the people, but for providing me with rights that many women and even men in this world are not permitted to have. I am allowed to express my own thoughts and opinions without facing punishment, can practice my own religion freely, and can vote once I'm 18, all because the Constitution guarantees and protects these rights.
Trumbull High's We the People team will present to you the preamble of our Constitution.
We the people of the United States.
In order to form a more perfect union.
Establish justice. Ensure domestic tranquility.
Provide for the common defense.
Promote the general welfare. And secure the blessings of liberty.
To ourselves and our posterity.
Do ordain and establish. This Constitution for the United States of America.
As a first-generation American, the Constitution symbolizes freedom and endless opportunities for me. Growing up, I was always reminded of the privilege I have because I grew up in a nation founded on democratic principles and fundamental rights. The Constitution is based on the idea of consent of the governed, meaning that it derives its power from the people. If the government does not protect the rights of its citizens, the people have the right to alter or abolish it. Even in some so-called democratic nations, governments have exercised tyrannical power over its people and have corrupt politicians. My parents immigrated from Brazil, a country in which corruption is widespread and the people face great risk by standing up against the government. Many politicians often receive special treatment despite being involved in bribery and fraud. The United States Constitution, however, explicitly protects freedom of expression and the right to protest and petition the government. The people can hold politicians accountable this way. Additionally, government officials involved in treason, bribery, high crimes, and misdemeanors can be impeached and convicted by Congress. The established system of checks and balances helps ensure that no one branch of government can overpower the other. Although the word equal is not explicitly stated until the 14th Amendment, and equality was certainly not granted to African Americans, women, and other minority groups for many, many years, equal opportunity and protection is something I am grateful for every day. To have the chance to grow up in a country where I can become whatever I want to become and have the chance to find success is amazing.
When I think about the Constitution, I think about ignorance and change. When I was younger, I saw the Constitution and only acknowledged all the good that has come from our nation's past. I was able to recognize the Constitution as the basis of our government, but I had no idea how it exemplified the evolution of this country. I saw the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments and thought of them idealistically, rather than thinking about the struggle that led up to their ratification and even after. Looking at it now, I see our nation's complicated past in the Constitution in finding equality for all. The ability to speak freely on my decisions and opinions on the government is not a privilege that is shared everywhere in the world. While the Constitution does make me remember how slow progress has been in this country, it also allows me to share my beliefs and not feel threatened because of them. Without the Constitution, this country would not be anything like it is today. While it may not be anywhere near perfect, it gave us the foundation we needed to grow and thrive as the nation we are today.
From all of us on Trumbull High's We the People team, we wish you a happy Constitution